Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I promise you this, above all else, I'm going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it because you'll have no choice.
I feel like everyone's having good games against Miami, though, as far as running goes.
Right.
But other than that, they're not picking up yards rushing the ball, and it's on May at this point to, make good throws, find the open guys, which he's doing. He's doing a great job of it. And you're not seeing a lot of bad passes out of him.
Sorry, I'm hearing more and more, and I'm looking, going, man, everything on this was tampered with. My damn children. Oh, man. Oh, okay.
So go ahead, Dave. You already forgot what you were talking about. We can't remember
the running game. I mean, the fact is, like, it's May or nothing. I mean, these guys can't find a hole because there is none. They can't, there's just no yards to be had when it comes to running for this team. Unfortunately, I don't know what Tennessee's defense looks like. Can't really look too great since they fired their coach, but
you never know. A new coach comes in, and we could have a little rejuvenation. What's it? Mike McCoy was the interim coach, so
it's just a bad team.
I'm a little bit more nervous about. We could still lose on any given week. We are not like an accomplished football team,
Right.
so I don't want them getting a big head thinking, we're going to Tennessee and we just need to show up on the field and we win, because we're not that football team. I think people, I would hope that they don't think that after 2 4-win seasons that they can just show up and win. You got to win these games, because if you lose to a team like Tennessee, the last 2 weeks don't really mean anything, because you're back to 4-3 and now you're fighting, to stay around 500. So you need to win this week.
You lose to a team like Tennessee, and people are just going to look at you like that, like,
As they should, right?
You're winning games because of a weak schedule.
Yeah. No, you got to take care of the teams that you 100%. If you lost to Atlanta, we can see Penix having a good game, but the next 2 weeks,
I still don't think they're going to lose to Atlanta.
I don't either. But if they did, we could see it happening. Next 2 weeks, Tennessee and Cleveland, you have to win those games.
Right.
You have to go up 6-3 with Atlanta and Tampa Bay coming up.
It's kind of sickening to look at it and realize you could have been undefeated at this point, right?
Or at the very least, they should have beaten the Steelers. The Raiders outplayed us. We didn't play well. We outplayed the Steelers.
Right.
We should have won that game.
But looking back on it now and how bad the Raiders have been,
You could be.
you got to be kicking yourself after that one.
And then you wonder, were we prepared to start the season? Because Drake May's looked good every single game since then. Maybe that's something they learn from next year in preseason.
You mean those games that they're supposed to play before?
They didn't play anybody.
No.
They didn't play anybody.
And then you look at the other side of the field this weekend, and we talked about, you get guys like Rattler. I mean, we're talking about a guy who was drafted in the 5th round playing on a team that everyone expected to be absolutely
The
awful.
worst in the league.
He looks pretty good.
And they didn't look bad. Like, did they find something with Rattler?
Maybe, right? Or at least a stopgap. He might not be a quarterback for 10 years, but he might be a quarterback for the next 3, right? He looks pretty solid. He's an NFL starting quarterback, right?
Yes, yeah. Yep. So,
Booty.
Solid.
5 for 93, 2 touchdowns.
Finally shows up.
And they were. I don't think it's the fact that he finally showed up, because I think we see every week with Drake May
Spreading it around.
It's spread around.
He's spreading it around.
And
yes,
Booty catches
but
the balls that are thrown to him. I mean, when have you even the past couple games have you been like, "Ooh, that was a big drop from Booty"?
I just don't think he's been targeted that much in the last few games.
The last 2 games, they targeted the hell out of Diggs.
I mean, yeah. And Diggs.
And then Hunter Henry had a decent game in there somewhere.
And I feel like Diggs was the Saints' goal was to shut him down.
I think the refs shut Diggs down.
Yeah.
Well, you could have that too.
Oh, another one on Diggs. Oh, you caught that one? Nope, we're getting it back.
Yeah, that was.
He scorned some woman in that umpire.
Banged the referee's wife.
It's getting old with the referees just throwing flags whenever they feel like changing something. Like a great play. His hand was on the guy's shoulder. Really wasn't a push off.
barely.
And it's like both of those players knew they weren't even in the play.
In the timing of it, where they waited so long.
Yeah.
You know, it makes you think, like, anyone that thinks that these players and these referees could potentially be gambling on these games, you see a play like that, and you're like, oh, for sure, this guy's got 10 grand on this game. Makes no sense.
You know, a game that wasn't gambled on this weekend was probably one of the grossest things that Dave can't stop talking about it, is the Broncos and Jets on Thursday night, where Justin Fields had 45.
No, that was the Sunday morning.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Justin Fields had 45 total yards.
Yeah. It's so bad.
Dave hates these overseas games.
I like waking up and seeing a football game on that I can just like have in the background while I'm, just milling around on a Sunday morning. It was so bad.
Yeah, and the coaching, especially Aaron Glenn, was terrible. They had the ball at midfield with about 20 seconds left, and they let the time.
And then how about the end when he went for it?
I didn't see it at the end.
They
could have stopped watching.
They could have kicked like a 62-yard field goal.
Yeah.
But he went for a 4th and 7, right?
4th and 7.
Did he run it like
Fields?
Yes.
He gets sacked.
Oh.
It was like a 10-yard loss.
Oh, boy.
Was,
what a nightmare.
Yeah.
I bet he wishes he stayed in Detroit, right?
Yeah. Dave's been up in arms. He hates the mobile quarterbacks and games overseas. He hates the foreigners. The foreign games. The foreign games.
Yeah.
They're bad. The games, they're just bad games.
Are they putting crap teams out there, though?
They had the Steelers and Vikings.
All right, two better, playoff teams.
It wasn't a great game.
Right.
And I think the Vikings had Wentz at quarterback, which they're not going anywhere.
Right.
If he stays there.
Yeah, but when they scheduled it, they didn't think Wentz would be quarterback. So that's
they thought they would have J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
And then I think the Vikings stayed in, over there and had another game the following week. I don't know. I forget where they played.
I don't know. They're moving all around over there. I really haven't been able to catch them. It's I don't know.
Hasn't been good football though. It's
and they got another
terrible.
one coming up in Australia.
Yeah, I think they're starting to move now, right? And
Yeah, it sucks.
I get it. They're trying to get that. They're tapped out. You're not going to get any more revenue here, other than charging people for games.
Yeah.
So I get it. You got to go overseas. It's just whatever. I
kind of like it. You wake up 9:30 in the morning.
Like I said, I like that.
Yeah.
I like to have.
You just want to see a better
in the
game.
morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad football, and I don't know if it was just because it was the Jets. The Broncos are a decent team to watch. They've got some players, and they look like shit. It was just a terrible overall game. Bo Nix couldn't do anything. Justin Fields just isn't good.
I looked at it afterwards because I missed the beginning because it interferes with my church mornings. That's another reason I hate the 9 o'clock games. And then I got out and I looked at it. I'm like, what is going on in this game?
Yeah.
This is crap.
Yeah.
This
junk.
is just
So we can.
Not a really good overall slate this week. What do we have? You had the Panthers beat the Cowboys, which
It feels like the whole league is kind of down, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when the Colts are the best team in football, that's not good, right? I think they're 5-1, right?
They have the best running back in football right now.
Right,
so.
right. But I mean, when we're talking best teams in football, we'd like to see Buffalo, Baltimore, Philadelphia, teams like that.
And those teams are all struggling.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Buffalo
yes.
got beat down.
We've been saying on the show for the past several weeks, they have no defense. They have an incredibly soft defense.
But they couldn't even get their offense going.
No, it's hard to get your offense going when you're that deflated. When you get Bijan Robinson busting out 80 yards every time Penix turned around, he's bombing to London. That team got deflated.
Yeah,
and then everything tried to go on Allen's shoulders, and Allen.
Well, 2 weeks in a row now, they've kind of gone away from Cook,
Yeah,
and he is your spark plug on that team.
but it's tough when you're down 2+ touchdowns to stick with the run.
Early on, they got away from it, and Atlanta. I didn't realize Atlanta had a top pass rush because they were sacking Allen. He wasn't getting out, and
They don't.
right. So like,
If it's all passing situations,
well, what the hell is going on there? This was early in the game. I'm like, what is going on with Buffalo's offensive line?
Well, the fact that the Falcons secondary isn't that good. They're a mediocre at best secondary.
They look
and
like
I
a
think
top defense.
Well, what happened was I think they were like, well, Allen's going to try to pass all over us because we're not that good. We need to beat their guys up front, and they did. And I think Buffalo took them lightly.
And then you get the early lead, and it's passing situations for Buffalo, and then
and then you got Penix in that offense not having to make clutch throws and just kind of manage the game, and he's got big play guys everywhere. It was a perfect storm for Atlanta. So,
and the Panthers and Cowboys, I have to give it to Rico Dowdle.
Who?
Rico Dowdle.
Is that Napoleon Dynamite's brother?
The running back that Dallas
the uncle.
cut.
Oh, that's the uncle. That's Uncle Rico.
Yeah.
After 4 years in Dallas, Jerry Jones was like, didn't even offer him a contract.
Yeah.
And boy, he stuffed it right up their ass on Sunday.
Nice.
He's had a couple big games for them. 200 and something yards a few weeks ago. He had almost 200 yards rushing. He had over 200 yards total offense.
I dropped him.
Yeah. He's been, the last 2 weeks, he's been unreal.
That's the thing about fantasy sports. It costs you so much. Like one bad decision.
I keep seeing him go off, and I just want to throw the remote through the TV.
Yeah.
And you know, one week I needed a running back, and I was like, Dowdle was Rico was just a backup, so I dropped him. I picked up another guy,
and then somebody picks him up.
Hubba got hurt, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, and he's been like, he's just got a chip on his shoulder. He's
Uncle Rico.
Lights out.
It's going to drive Mike crazy all year long.
It's infuriating.
Yeah, dude, I went through it with baseball. I dropped Nick Kurtz. And it killed you just see homer after homer, 4-homer game, 10 RBIs. I'm like, oh man, I could use those.
My phone's delayed, Dave. I look over, I see all the comments coming up. You couldn't say, hey, Mike, we get, let's...
Dave, read some of the comments. See what's going on with our people.
Sorry, Fields. We're past a lot of these. They're all just popping up now.
Elwood had to chime in about Trevor Story.
Oh, God.
Okay. I want to get into that, but I don't want to get into it
Trevor
right
Story?
now.
Not yet.
Trevor Story. So we'll circle back on that.
All right,
We're in the
Saki.
football now.
Yeah.
I do have to say, though, I like what Fields said here, not hating the double Monday Night Football games. I like that, too.
I do, because if one of them shits the bed, at least you got the other one.
Yeah,
I like it.
And they start one of them early.
They stagger them.
7 and 8.
Seven, yeah,
Yeah, it's good. So if one of them's like,
I can get to halftime before I go to bed.
That's it. The Falcons game was on at 7. I go, this is awesome.
Yeah,
it's great.
The last game I want to talk about before we get into our probably wrong weekly redraft, the Chiefs and the Lions game, huh?
All right, yeah.
What?
Chiefs are going to be there.
I just mean, the Chiefs haven't looked that great all year.
Yeah.
And then you got the Lions, and they
looked amazing this
Right.
year.
Yeah. 30-17. It's
Dominated the whole
game.
game,
The
right?
Lions just melted down.
Yeah. And it boiled over into the post game too, with Branch. And that was ridiculous what he did.
I mean, I get both sides of that. I get it. What Branch said, he goes, I'm tired of these guys thinking they can get away with what they get away with within the lines. Okay, I get that. You standing up for yourself, this and that, but now you're suspended for the way you handled it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it started with, just walking past Mahomes and
Mahomes tried to shake his hand and he brushed it off, and then the worst part is Juju tried to shake his hand and then he just batted the hand and punched him.
Yeah. So bad look.
Yeah, bad look for Juju. Did you see the picture?
No.
Of him on top of him, Juju's bleeding.
Oh, really? Yeah, got him good, huh? Because the helmet fell off, right?
And he knocked it.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's where, the Lions need to grow up a little bit. They came unhinged, and it like I said, it just boiled over. And you're not going to be a championship team.
No,
doing
melting down like that.
Yeah. So you can have a bad game, but then to have that stuff happen afterwards,
You got to keep your composure for sure.
Let's get into what everybody's waiting for.
This is the Probably Wrong Podcast 2024 QB Weekly Redraft, where after each week's quarterback performance, we take a look back at the 2024 draft and decide who should have gone number 1 and who now sucks.
All right, we're going
Read them off, Tony.
we're going to start with the number 1 pick overall, which was Caleb Williams. 17 for 29, 252 yards, 1 touchdown, a QBR, quarterback ranking or rating, of 98.6. in a big win over the Commanders. Number 2, Jaden Daniels, 19 for 26, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 119 QBR. Number 3, Drake May, 18 for 26, 261 yards, 3 TDs, and a 140 QBR. Michael Penix is up next, 20 for 32, 250 yards, 1 TD, QBR of 97.1. J.J. McCarthy, Dave's boy, once again didn't play, so the same stats as all 3 of us. Bo Nix, I forgot to write down his stats, but that game sucked. They scored 13 points, so he couldn't have done that well. And then Spencer Rattler.
He had 147 passing yards. I know that.
So not good. Spencer Rattler, new to the list, 20 for 26, 227 yards, QBR of 102.6. So Dave, you get the number 1 pick overall. Out of these quarterbacks, who are you taking? Number 1.
Drake May.
Once again, we should tally up like how many number 1s picks they get. Then we'd have to go back, and we're not going to do that. So Drake May, number 1. Who would you take number 2?
I'd have to say Daniels. Jaden Daniels. I don't know. I know Caleb Williams won the game, but I don't know. The kid's coming off injury, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Caleb Williams.
You got to be careful with your words.
I don't hate him, but
okay. There you go.
He just doesn't do it for me. I wouldn't pick him at all. But this week, yeah, I'd take him over Bo Nix. Bo Nix was that was just a terrible game in general. But,
that game was built for him to explode and show on that Jets defense what he could do. And
yeah,
and he did nothing.
He did nothing.
Yeah. But, all right, so Caleb Williams or Michael Penix?
Actually, I was kind of impressed with Penix.
Ooh.
I finding Drake London quite a bit, and he looked good. It slowed down. The first half, I think Atlanta was really taking it to Buffalo, and I think in the second half of that game, everything kind of quieted down. It was more Bijan, but yeah, Penix played really well against Buffalo, and Buffalo was a team that was supposed to go in there and blow them out. So
that did not happen. All right, Snelly, you're on the clock. Number 1.
Drake May.
Drake May. Ooh, you hated that guy.
I know.
Last year. Number 2.
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix. Oh, he's going with a lefty. I love it.
As I said, this is our week to week. Michael Penix.
Yeah, Michael Penix. All right,
Yeah.
Number 3.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. All right. And number 4.
Rattler.
I know you hate the guy. Caleb Williams.
And if I go by this week, I'm putting Rattler above Bo Nix.
Oh,
Bo
yeah,
Nix,
100%.
Bo Nix has dropped down the list.
Yeah.
I think I'm putting J.J. McCarthy ahead of Bo Nix
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah. Did you already say we should tally these to see where they all fill for the end of the year and see what overall was the number 1 pick?
Yeah, Drake May might have 10 number 1s.
Yeah.
And so at the end we could be all right, so he won the first pick.
Michael Penix, he had an awful game a couple weeks ago against Carolina, right? You all expected after that he got benched. Kirk Cousins was coming in, and this is the end of Penix.
Maybe.
I love Penix.
No, but a lot of guys, that's the end. And now we have another story of a guy going, okay, all right, buckle, that came out the next week, looked like a completely different player.
If anyone's going to be
continued with that.
If anyone's going to be resilient and tough, it's Michael Penix. He's had
Multiple
14 knees
injuries.
replaced.
Yeah.
He's had 48 shoulders replaced. He has a new head, a new heart. This guy's tough. He is resilient as they come. So I don't think he was going to get butthurt by a little bench, and I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to be I don't want to say a future top 10 quarterback in the league. I think he can get
hope,
there.
being a Falcons fan, I hope.
I don't think he's
He's got the weapons around him to do it.
And he's got a cannon of an arm and throws a beautiful spiral. That's got to be a nice ball to catch. It's got to be.
Yeah. I'm sure Drake London loves it.
All right. So I feel like 1 or 2 words and that could have been.
I was waiting to see where that was going to go.
I kept my composure. I'm like Caleb Williams. All right. Number 1 pick, Drake May. Number 2, Jaden Daniels. Number 3, I'm still going Caleb Williams. I don't like him as a person. Love him as a football player. I think he's going to be great as well. Number 4, Michael Penix. But Spencer Rattler, growing on me. This whole quarterback class, I think it's the class we're talking about.
I can't believe you put Penix down after this week that low.
Well, Caleb Williams won that game against Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, but in that game, Caleb Williams didn't look that good. I mean, their field goal kicker won that game.
Right, but he came back. He had the winning drive to put him in position. Didn't
they get the ball at like the 38, 40-yard line? He only got it like 25 yards.
Yeah, that's all they needed. That's all they needed.
We're really pushing the bar. I think you're trying to make up for all the hate talk.
I think Caleb Williams is great. I think talent-wise, people are going to hate me for saying this. I think he has more talent than Drake May. I just don't know if he has the mental makeup. I see him throwing on the run, and he's throwing seeds, perfect seeds. I think he's Patrick Mahomes-like with a better arm.
His mentality,
that's what's going to kill him.
His mental makeup is going to keep him. Is going to hinder him forever. And 100%. You got a guy like Drake May, who seems to be mental makeup as just kind of brush it off and move on.
Yep, that's going to be the difference.
He's going to succeed.
Yep.
And I was with you with the throwing on the run and this and that because we didn't see that much of it and it didn't look really good. But these last 3 weeks, this guy can roll out with the best of them and fire it.
Yes.
I mean, what was it a couple weeks ago? He was getting sacked, and as he was getting sacked, he fired that ball right down to Diggs. It looked great.
Yeah, it looked great. I feel like Caleb has that in his arsenal as well.
But we're not allowed to say this stuff because we crapped on Drake May when he didn't look good. So we didn't talk for weeks of how good that we hoped that he could be or what he's supposed to be. We commented on what we saw.
We can't go by what we see.
No.
We have to go by people's emotions.
Yes.
What
we feel they could be.
This is going to be a tough show in the future.
When you talk about mental makeup, right? Do you play football for Mike Vrabel?
No way.
No
way. I think that's what's going to hold him back. That's what's going to keep him from being like a star. And we saw it late in that game where I think an offensive lineman had a holding call and Caleb Williams goes to the bench. He's complaining. He threw his helmet. He's like slapping the bench. You can see his colored fingernails, and they're trying to calm him down. It's a bad look. You're doing this as a team.
Dude, if he broke a nail, he would have been out for like a week.
He'd be out. Yeah.
Didn't that already happen last year? Didn't he do something with his finger, like a hangnail or something?
I'm sure he couldn't paint it, and mentally he wasn't prepared to play that week.
No. I can't picture like him being on the field with Mike Vrabel and just Vrabel
with his
laying into him and having him start
in the locker room with
and
his bedazzled phone.
I mean, does his mom get to sit on the bench so that she can comfort him when
be careful with your words, Dave? This got me in trouble.
You think Mike Vrabel would be upset with Caleb Williams walking in with his purse?
Yeah, I don't think that's the Vrabel way of life.
Well, all right. So hopefully we'll see how things change out next week.
Yeah, well, hopefully we get much of the same. We get another stud performance by Drake May.
A solid number one for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's playing great. Very, very happy with that. It makes life a little bit better.
I think this is a big one I think the Pats are going to do something with this game just for Vrabel going back to Tennessee.
Hope so.
Were they going to throw him like a party?
Like strippers, Dave?
Like a touchdown party.
Yeah.
They're gonna score a lot of points.
Boy, you know what happens to those touchdown parties.
Yeah.
All right,
is that like a Diddy party?
And now, the Coach's Corner with David DeShulo.
3-1.
I told you! You were all poo-pooing them last week. Oh, this team's down. They're not going to be good. I'm like, dude, just have faith. Just enjoy the ride. You never know. They could be undefeated next week. This team...
You know what?
They're 3-1, and I'm enjoying it.
You know what ride I'm enjoying is Swayman giving up 2 goals in the 2 games he's played. Because you poop on him daily, and he's playing like he was supposed to last year. And even though they were outplayed heavily in the opener with Washington, he shut down 35 saves in that game. He looks a lot more confident. He looks just ready. And that's huge because this team, we've talked about it, they're not that talented.
But if they can play together as a team, that overcomes the talent.
This is true. When you get a group together and they're all on the same page and clicking,
and you get Pasternak playing at like he wants to be the captain.
He should be the captain, number one, and oh my God, get him someone else to play with. Do you think this is
a good move though that they didn't make him the captain right away, and it kind of rubbed him a little bit the wrong way, being like, you know what, I'm going to show you.
No, because I think he was going into the season just like, I mean, after what he did last year.
Yeah, but overall, his game has improved. When you watch him out there, he's not shying away. He's going into the hits. And
I love the save he made.
And I was pointing this out. I think I mentioned this last week, but when we were watching them in training camp down at Warrior Ice Arena, Pastrnak stood out. He stood out every time. We were on the other end of the ice, and I'm like, oh, I can't see him. And you were like, he's right there. I go, I should have known that was him.
Yeah, and he's, in my opinion, is a top 5 player in the league right now. And a lot of these other guys that are ahead of him have, like, star, line mates. Nate McKinnon has always had star power on Colorado. You get, McDavid and Draisaitl in Edmonton. And then you come to Boston and it's like, here's Pasta and...
I know you crap on Elias. Elias can be that guy. He wasn't healthy last year. He got hurt. He wasn't himself.
He's looked better this year.
He already looks better, and I think as the year goes on, those two are going to be your guys.
It wasn't that I was crapping on him.
No, I can roll back the tape. You do not like mobile quarterbacks. You do not like the foreign games, and you do not like the Lindholm brothers. Non-actual brothers.
Elias's contract was based on how he played with Gaudreau and Tkachuk in Calgary, not based on anything else he's done. He's not a guy that makes everyone around him better. Pastrnak is. He made Morgan Geekie into a 30-goal scorer.
Yep.
Lindholm could have a great year this year. It's because he's playing with Pastrnak. That's a guy that Pastrnak, he makes everyone around him better.
But isn't that what you just said you wanted? You have a guy that has star quality playing next to him. Pastrnak is going to elevate him.
I still don't think of him as a star, though.
But he has the quality.
He has the ability to do it.
And I think last year it was a step back because he was injured. You didn't really get to see what he was out in Vancouver.
Yeah, he wasn't very confident playing here last year. Last year was just such a bad... The whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything about it was bad. And
mostly the goal.
Yeah, mostly the $8 million man.
Yeah, but... Can't say that this year. He's looked like a stud so far.
In the 2 games out of 4 that he's played.
2, but it's still, you look at the out of the 4 games, Korpisalo's given up 4 goals, and I think 3 in the first game. So,
but it was the Capitals and the Bruins. the Capitals and the Sabres that he beat, right?
Yeah, the Sabres, I know.
Okay.
The Sabres are just a shit team.
I get it. All right, I got to be happy, right? We're 3-1. We're rolling into Thursday night, the Golden Knight. We have a stretch coming up. We have the Golden Knight. We have the Avalanche. We have the Utah Hockey Club, which I still kind of refuse to call the Mammoths.
The Mammoths.
And then we have next Tuesday night, we have the Panthers. So this right here is a good stretch of games to kind of get hopefully a little bit of feel of what we're looking at. And if I look at this stretch and we come out next week, what do we be, 5-3? I'm happy.
If they pull off a win against Vegas, they're a juggernaut. Yeah. That team is so good.
And I get it. It's early. What we see now isn't what we're going to see later on out of these teams once they gel. But this is a team that wasn't supposed to beat those guys. As what you were talking last week, this team was the dregs of the NHL last week to you.
Bottom 5.
And I know there are guys out there who want this team to tank because, you get that number 1 draft pick. The Bruins will screw it up. They screw up every draft pick. I bet you they would get that draft pick and be like, oh, look at this guy. We can trade him. And look at all the draft capital we'll get. We'll get all these draft picks in mediocre players and do nothing with it.
Yeah.
I have no faith ever in the draft. Even this kid, I get being told that he looks good in Boston College this year. I'm like, well, that's great.
Hagen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much potential with him. I look forward to seeing him in April when he finally finishes up in college and joins the Bruins. It should be good, but the fact that people want them to get that number 1 overall pick, they won't get it at this point. They're going to end up winning games and get into the playoffs, but. I don't know. I'm not.
Justin Elwood chimes in. The only good part of the Bruins season so far was Conner Bedard's goal. Now there's a bad take.
Calm down on Conner Bedard. I know you love him, but
I mean, his sophomore season last year was not what you could have expected. Not what you could have hoped for a guy that you was supposed to be God's gift to hockey. So I will see this year, but I think if he comes out this year and has a season like last year, you can't label it. I wouldn't say that he's a bust because he's still producing, but he's not the guy that we were sold. You were sold a bag of goods, right? And what's the thing there when you sold? I don't know, but
yeah, I'm having trouble finding my words too. But no, the big complaint is that he's small. The talent is unbelievable, but I mean, Chicago already had a guy who was small and had some of the best talent in the world, and
he's kind of a prick too, right?
Patrick Kane?
No,
but I've heard that, yeah.
I was all for this kid. I was all for this young hotshot, and then the more that I hear, I'm like, man, this guy's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Even some of his teammates. I hope
think
that's just him young arrogance to get beaten off of him.
You know what it is? He was, all through his teens, was all hyped up.
Yeah.
Told how great he was, and now he's in the NHL, and he's just not great. And I know he's still young, but he's still small. And to play in this league, you got to have some size. At least McDavid's 6'1", and the skill is just unmatched. There is no one that can play like McDavid. But supposedly this McKenna kid is similar, maybe a little more feisty. But
you know me, I don't go with supposeds. Tony's looking at his watch. Tony's looking at his watch.
Longer than a minute.
Going too long on hockey.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we'll pick this up next week when the Bruins will hopefully be 5-3 and still above 500 and looking just as good as I expected. And if they're not, I won't be on next week's show. Let's talk baseball, Tony.
All right, let's go.
Let's finish off the show with Bregman leaving the Red Sox.
Well, at the very least, opting out.
Oh, can we get back to Justin Elmwood's comment earlier here? Where was it?
Story.
The Trevor Story. I can't find it, Justin. I can't get back to it.
We don't deserve Trevor Story.
Trevor Story opted in. He's playing again. He's not going to get that money anywhere else.
He's not going to opt out. He's got 2 years left at about $50 million.
And you know what? If we get what we got out of Trevor Story this year,
bam,
sign me up.
Yeah.
You know,
we'll take it.
100%.
Yeah, well worth it. Yeah, even if they have to shift him over to second, and he still gives you those numbers, that's worth 20-something million, 23 million, or whatever.
I mean, he was one of the only guys that produced it this year in the postseason. I was surprised. I think everybody here was surprised to see him still healthy on the field.
Yeah,
so,
played the majority of games.
Knock on wood.
In years.
Yep. So can we get another year out of him?
You hope. I think he played, I want to say like 158 games or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they got to manage his time next year. Maybe have him play about 140 games. I don't think you're going to get lucky with him twice. This guy's played maybe 100 games over the past 3 seasons.
It was impressive.
And you look at if he didn't start out in the slump that he did.
Oh,
I mean, it was awful. Yeah, Justin, I have the comment here somewhere that you were even like, oof.
Yeah.
You know,
he was waived in my fantasy league.
Yeah.
So ever since when he got hot, he's kind of like an MVP candidate.
Yeah, he
from
stayed
that
with
point
it.
on.
Yep.
Yeah. So he had a very, very good season. Bregman opting out. We'll see. What do you guys think? Dave, what do you think? Bregman opted out.
I think he's gone.
You think he's gone?
Yeah, and I hate it because they should do everything in their power to keep him here.
How much do you think Bregman is worth per season?
To like the Tigers or to the Red Sox?
To the Red Sox. What would you give him? Because he's probably going to want a 5-year deal, 6-year deal.
I think the Red Sox will probably offer him 5 years, 120.
Yeah, 125, 25 million.
And I think the Tigers would probably be 160, 170.
The Titans last year offered him 6 years, 170. Red Sox offered, which is a little bit under $30 million a year. Red Sox offered him $40 million a year over 3 years with opt-outs.
I'm fine with letting him walk. I liked Bregman. I liked what he brought to the team as the manager. I mean, he started out the year, the guy was not good offensively. Right? I mean, defensively.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then he was hurt.
Yep.
And then he came back, and then he wasn't hitting.
Yeah.
So it's like we We didn't get a full Bregman. We got he could hit, he couldn't he could hit, he couldn't play, and then all he could do was field and manage guys.
At this age,
that's not, to me, $30 million a year.
At this age, do you ever get like a complete Bregman now? I mean, he's 31.
But that's what I mean. That's what I'm fine with for that amount of money. I don't care. Let him go. But like I think we said earlier, and I think you brought up, if they're going to let him go, you need to now sign 2 players. Because you got rid of Devers and Bregman.
Yeah.
And you're putting your money on Mayer and Roman Anthony.
Right.
I mean,
and they need to be supported at this stage of their careers.
They're young. They still need a guy like Bregman, in whether he's in the lineup or he's just in the clubhouse. He's worth the years, because even at 36 and 37 years old, you still got his mind to help with some of these younger guys.
I'm fine with that, because you're not going to get anywhere near the production that you need out of that third baseman next year. You're not. And if the Tigers are going to go pay him, go ahead, because I bet you next year he'll be like, ooh, start out gangbusters, and then after All-Star game he's going to disappear, and you're going to be like, that's what we're missing.
Right.
So, I mean, if he signs, oh well, it's not my money. I hope for the best. I hope it works out. But if he's gone,
I think if he doesn't sign, they got to pivot quickly. It just feels like this Red Sox ownership group, they're always like 2 seconds too late.
Yes.
So if he signs, you better move quick, and you better have deals in place, because like Mike said, not only are you losing Bregman, you lost Devers. So that's 2 like middle of the order bats. You don't really have middle of the. We saw a AAA lineup in the playoffs. You need middle of the order bats.
Was it even a AAA lineup?
Double A.
So and bad. I get it. You want to hang your hat on Roman Anthony.
Not yet.
I need to see a year of production of him next year. I'm not sold on Mayer, and jury is still out on Campbell. And then you got, what's his name, coming back at first base next year?
Cassis. Hopefully not, right? Hopefully. And we don't know if you get anything out of Trevor Story, because he's injury plagued. So you're gonna go into next year with like not much.
Yeah, question marks. I mean, but still, it's promising to see what Story did. He played probably the most games he's played in his career, which is good to see. I think Campbell, see what he can do. The kid's still, 22 years old. Anthony, real young. Mayer, real young.
And Justin brings up a point here, is if I didn't even realize Bo Bichette was a free agent. It's like you sign Bichette and whoever this polar bear guy is, but then you put Mayer.
Polar bear is Pete Alonso.
Oh, that's his nickname?
The polar bear, yeah.
I never knew that.
Oh, he's the best.
Yes.
And Boston would love him.
And then put Mayer to third.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. That's a winning lineup.
I feel like next year the only power would be Pete Alonso, though. You need more. You're watching these games in the playoffs, and you need power hitters, because these pitchers don't make a ton of mistakes. And the games that you're watching, they're tight games, and you see solo home runs. You need it. So I'd rather go Kyle Tucker, Pete Alonso, figure out the infield.
I like Bichette.
He gets hurt a lot, too.
Yeah.
Inconsistent. But a gamer, and he could...
Perfect for the Red Sox.
Yeah. I just don't know if it would be enough power.
Well, we got all off season to beat that up. What we don't have a lot of time for is the show and what's left of the MLB playoffs.
Okay.
Because we got Seattle taking a commanding 2-0 lead.
Good for them.
The Dodgers, I wouldn't say it's been commanding, but they're up 2-0. So, and then they took both games in Milwaukee, coming back home.
See, the Milwaukee team, we talk about Bo Bichette. In the playoffs, you're not going to put together four singles in a row to score 2 runs. It just doesn't happen. And Bo Bichette kind of falls into that. He's like a better hitter than he is power hitter. You need power. And it's got to be frustrating for Milwaukee to play tight with the Dodgers, and all of a sudden, Teoscar Hernandez comes up, hits a homer. Max Muncy comes up, hits a homer.
And it's funny when Teoscar and Hernandez, because he's got a homer in each game now, right? Or no, it's just game 1. But when he hit it, all I'm saying is it was such an effortless.
Yeah, he's a good power hitter. Remember the Red Sox could have signed him? Yeah. They didn't want him. I think you need power, and Milwaukee led the majors in wins. They're not on the same planet as the Dodgers. Dodgers had 2 starters go 8 and 9 innings. They're just better. And I think if you're a Red Sox fan, I think you want to see the Dodgers win, because they have so much star power. They spent so much money, and that's how the Red Sox should build their team.
But you have Major League Baseball coming out and saying, if the Dodgers win, it's an imminent lockout. because this is why we need a salary cap.
No, this is why we need awesome teams, right?
And it's got nothing to do with the salary cap. It's all to do with cheap teams.
Yeah.
A salary cap is not going to change who's still spending and what teams are not.
Right.
It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
They need to figure out a way to make these teams who don't spend any money spend money.
Right. And I think baseball is best when the Dodgers are great, the Yankees are great, the Red Sox are great, and the whole country hates them, right? I think it's, and then you go in with like the little engine that could, a team like Milwaukee, and everyone's rooting for them to beat one of these big teams.
Right.
That's when sports is the best, when everybody hated the Patriots, right?
And nothing to do with the salary cap.
Nothing. These teams don't want to spend money, and it just fills up their bank account.
Look what we're going through here in the Red Sox. You bring a salary cap in, does that help the Red Sox?
No,
the Red Sox going to spend more money?
No, they don't.
Is Tampa going to spend money? Is Milwaukee going to spend?
No.
It's going to do nothing.
Nothing.
And then you got teams like the Dodgers, and I shouldn't even say just the Dodgers, because multiple teams do it after you start to look into it. They're just going to defer that money down the road.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. I wanted Seattle versus the Dodgers because I felt like those are the best two teams. And Seattle went out at the break. There are two legit power hitters, and Seattle went out and traded for both of them. So I like teams that make moves, So I think that'll be a good World Series. That being said, it'll probably be the Blue Jays versus the Brewers. I don't think
that'd be
either
two
one.
epic comebacks.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
But I think the Seattle Mariners versus the Dodgers will be a fun series to watch.
okay, and then by the time we're back on the air, series should be over.
Should be over.
You guys will be chatting it up next week.
All right. Peace.
Take you later.
Bye.